Hi, Western Union Eagles. It's Miss Combs, your STEM teacher, and I'm here today to do a fun STEM project with you. We're actually going to make plastic out of milk. So let's get started. So I'm in my kitchen doing the experiment, and I put up the material list, but I wanted to go over some things with you. The first thing you're going to need is 2 bowls, and they need to be, one needs to be definitely a microwave safe bowl. You're going to also need a microwave. Milk can also be warmed on the stove in a little pan. You're going to need a cookie cutter to form some shapes. You're going to need 1 cup of milk. You need to have either whole milk or 2% milk. And I chose whole milk. You're going to also need 4 tablespoons of vinegar. And I just have white, regular white distilled vinegar. You're going to need wax paper and a paper towel. And in the end, you'll see that if you want to decorate your plastic at the end, paint will be optional. Next, we're going to get right into our experiment. But before we do that, I have 2 helpers here with me. So I want to introduce them at the time. I have my son, Christian, who's a former Western Union Eagle, and my daughter, Skylar, who's a senior at Weddington High School. So you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Okay, we're going to go through our first set of directions. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out 1 cup of milk. And we're going to pour that in a bowl. Next, we're going to take 4 tablespoons of vinegar. And I have a tablespoon that Christian's going to be using. And that's like
It's 2.
2 right there, so we're going to count out
3.
2 more.
4.
Okay. Now we don't need to stir or anything, but we're going to take this mixture and we're going to place it in the microwave for 1 minute.
Go for 2.
And I wanted to say that we need parental guidance as we're doing this because we're going to be working with an item that's kind of warm. Okay, so while we're working with that, we're going to also use a bigger bowl because we're going to use that to actually strain some things, strain some of the liquid. Okay. Skylar has also made her a batch of the milk and vinegar mix. Now, while we're waiting for the microwave, let's talk about what's going to happen. We have combined milk and vinegar. So milk and vinegar is mixed together is actually going to form some sort of chemical reaction, okay? And we're going to be seeing that chemical reaction in about 17 seconds. Okay, so Christian is going to be removing the mixture, the milk and vinegar mixture out of the microwave. And he's going to place it on the counter. We're going to take a look at what has happened to this mixture. He's going to take a spoon and just kind of move the mixture around. Okay, and we're gonna just letting you see what the mixture looks like. Can you see that? Okay, so what we're looking at right now is something called curds and whey. Curds and whey. That sound familiar? It's actually in my favorite nursery rhyme, Little Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. So this is what curds and whey is. Actually, the white lumpy part is called the curds, and the liquidy part is the whey. And we're going to get a really good look at this right now. So Christian's going to, and it's not too warm, he's going to actually pick the bowl up and pour it into a larger bowl through a strainer. Skylar's going to lift the strainer, and what we're trying to do is drain all of the liquid out of the curds. We're trying to drain all of the liquids. Again, the white portion of this is called curds, and the liquidy portion is called the whey. Now, let me tell you what has actually happened. A chemical reaction has happened with the milk and the vinegar. Particles inside the milk called casein have separated themselves from the rest of the milk or the whey because of the acid in the vinegar. The caseins basically form together. They join together, and that's why we see the white clumpy portion. So the white clumpy portion, is called casein. Okay? So we're going to work with this casein and scrape it on there. We're going to try to dry it out as much as we can. Can you take the spoon and kind of scrape through it to get some of the liquid out of it? So we're trying to get as much liquid out of the curds or the casein as possible. Now, while they're doing that, let me just tell you what casein is. Casein is actually the protein and the fat in cow milk. Now, cow milk has some other things. It has some enzymes and it has some calcium. But this is the protein and the fat out of cow milk. That's why I asked you to use either whole milk or 2% milk. It's not going to work with skim milk or soy or almond milk. Now, casein was the first plastic. Casein is actually a Latin word for cheese. And it was the first material used to make plastic. Dating back to 1862 in England, casein was used to make things such as glue, paper, belt buckles, jewelry, knife handles, a number of different things, and buttons. Also buttons. They use casein to make buttons. Now, regular plastic is made from a polymer, but this is a casein. This is a plastic made out of casein. Got the curds and whey. On this second batch, we're going to try to get as much water out as possible. And Christian still has his batch that he's still drying. Trying to get as much of the liquid out as possible before he moves it on to the wax paper. Christian's gonna start transferring his to the wax paper. He can start kneading it and putting it in a shape and using his cookie cutters. You might want to flatten it out a little bit, Christian. Skylar is scraping her batch out, getting all of the whey out of it. Again, the whey is the liquid portion. The curd is the lumpy portion. Another name for that is casein. And casein is spelled C-A-S-E-I-N. C-A-S-E-I-N, casein. So Christian has formed him a star. And he's going to get the extra portion from around it. Skylar's going to start drying hers out with the paper towel. And that's what it looks like. Actually, it kind of looks like a cottage cheese or something, but she's going to dry hers out. Oh, that looks great. Okay. So, Christian has him a very good star. And he actually has enough material to form it together. He's just going to knead it a little bit more, put it together and knead it together and make a different shape while Skylar dries hers off, and she's going to transfer it to the wax paper. Christian's going to make him a heart shape this time. Okay, so we're, in the sake of time, we're going to do a little fast forwarding. And we actually tried this beforehand because we know this is a little time consuming. So we want to show you actually what it comes out, what it actually looks like after it's dried. Now, boys and girls, this is going to probably take a couple of days to dry completely. If you just keep it on a piece of wax paper. So let's take a look at that now. So these are the ones that the kids made on yesterday. What do we have here?
We have a star.
Okay.
We have a
And I see that it's a different color, so what did you guys do?
We let it dry and then we painted it.
Okay.
We decorated it.
And
We have a circle.
just a little circle, okay? Little circle. You guys painted that green, okay?
The
So what's that
excess.
one right there?
This is the heart. This is the color that it actually is.
Okay, so it stays that color when it
Yes.
dries out a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what do you guys think? Does it feel like plastic?
Yes. Yes.
Actually feel like plastic. Okay. So we actually made plastic out of milk. You guys, let me know. I'm gonna link my email address, send me pictures, and let me know how yours came out. Have a great day, Eagles!